Adequate notice of this meeting, adequate notice of this meeting has been provided in accordance with section 3D of chapter 231 of the public laws of 1975, commonly known as the Sunshine Law. Please rise for the pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Which is our second budget meeting of 2026. Mitchell Lindsay is excused due to work obligation. Mr. Coletti is on Zoom.
I'm on Zoom.
And the rest of us are here. There are minimal changes. As you see, that they were all made, and then there were potentially some discussion about other adjustments that are minor in nature. So Jen, I want to share the changes that were made since the last meeting. Then I'm going to go page by page if you just want to direct us to, unless you want to go page by page.
I've seen it numerous times, I don't have.
You're good with the changes?
If we just, let's go through the changes, just mostly for public record.
Some of the changes were my spelling errors that were correct. That was gonna be a question. Those were corrected. Sheet 9. There was the removal of the Blue Cross Blue Shield branch. That is because we're not actually responsible. They just, the company receives that grant themselves, so they just took that off of our bill. So, with speaking with the auditors, they said since we physically aren't receiving it,
Should go.
that can be.
That's for the fitness.
It's for the fitness court, yes. So, with that, then sheet 11, was changed for the, municipal tax. That's 2,217,525.33. Anybody have any questions on the revenue section?
None here.
No, I will share. I've been just yesterday morning, so I got that over to you with Karen, the S 1378, the Senate bill that's changing the energy tax receipts.
Oh,
So I would use the number for now, but there's a potential, we'll see, we, as Bethlehem, potentially could see less money because they're no longer calling it, or it's not approved, but it's making progress. I'm not sure. This is frustrating to all everybody, because I don't think it's gonna move in time for our budgets, but it won't be solved till July with the state budget. So I don't know if it's gonna impact this year or if it's gonna impact next year's budget. But so I would leave this as a placeholder, but they're gonna call it something else other than energy tax receipts, with like another aid package with a different name. And then the town with higher assessments apparently are gonna be seeing some lower contributions.
Okay, I wonder if they'll make us amend our budget.
They may, which I'm worried about. So, but I'll share it's on a legislative call Wednesday morning. And we're in opposition to much of it and so part of it too is there's a base year. That's why it might be lower. So like part of the agreement or negotiation is, they're using, I think, 2025 as the base, which was last year, as the base year, which is one of the lowest years for energy tax receipts. So, there's a group, specifically part of the task force with the mayors and the municipality going to talk to the sponsor of the bill and our representatives and or lobbyists are talking and trying to solve it, but I just want to be prepared, and I'll share the legislation with you and Karen so that you have it. But I would think probably there's a 90% chance that there's some change to the energy tax receipt funds that we plan on receiving.
Okay. Hopefully they're staying the same, but. Alright, so there's nothing else with revenue, appropriations is, 15. Okay, and they begin the first responder incentive program with $10,000.
Excellent, thank you. So that we had some clarity, on how this works.
Okay.
Again, we're not the first, we're the first in Hunterdon and one of the first in the state, but we're not the first to do this. So Middletown Township, was, I believe, the first. And what they do, what our auditor checked, and approved, they actually make the tax payment on behalf of, so that we're actually reducing taxes, because the state constitution doesn't allow us to reduce taxes. So the township is making a tax payment, or a portion of it on behalf of the first responder who qualifies.
Okay.
And we're limiting it to, I was hoping to do more, but we're limiting it to $500 for the first year. Because since we're providing actual funds, anything over $600, the volunteer would then receive a 1099 as if it were income. I may suggest next year, let's see how this works, because we're not gonna start this with the new tax year anyway, so we'll be making $125 contributions in August and November. And maybe next year we offer a ratcheted, like $1,000, and let the first responder, if they do qualify, decide if they want to apply for that higher ratchet, because that they may or may not have a negative tax impact. It may not be enough to put them, and then they still get a tax, local tax benefit. But let's keep it somewhat simple this year to get started. And that is, like I said, it's an approved method.
And then third back on, sheet 14. Did we want to talk about this further?
No, I can share it with you. The planning board, we're going to add, I think we should just do it, add $1,000 to the salary line item. Our planning board secretary, as being a resident in the township, while I'm expected, not, not, that we could avoid, has an application for a property that abuts their property. So the planning board chair and the planning board secretary will be recusing themselves, and in talking to the planning board attorney, we can have one of the planning board members as a recording secretary if we would like, but we still need a staff member to perform the role of planning board secretary for this particular application and record those minutes. That's still up in the air, who that person may be. But there should be some form of compensation, at least in the budget, in anticipation of that.
We just got my job.
We may open that discussion during executive session, as a personnel issue in the actual meeting. But, so that would be 28,000.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, the 15 was the first responder. I have all my changes in my office with the pages, so I apologize for not having that with me. So some of it was just like changes like 17A, so total pages were affected. Correct. Sheet 18 is numbers that the auditors, when they reviewed it and they put in numbers, there were a couple over expenditures. I'm not sure if that's from losing our system. I did journal entries. I don't know what journal entries I made and did make, from doing that, or, you know, what funds I lost. So when the auditors came, this is what they, found.
That's the 3777
I'm sorry,
on sheet 18.
18,
That's
yeah.
the 3777.
The 140.87 and then the $30.
Oh,
That was the $30 was
yes.
a cancel grant. Um. So, yeah, so I made journal, I don't know. When I was going back trying to figure out what entries I had lost, so the way to correct that, as showing an over expenditure, is by raising it
Okay.
in the budget. So 19, we just need those. Yeah, sheet 22 is showing Alexandria, bringing that court, which was in there, the last one, but, I know Rich wasn't here.
That's what each of the municipalities, that report. Yeah, I saw that.
Sheet 24, that's the difference of removing the horizon, but the cost. That appropriation was removed. There, so that affected 25 with the total page. Sheet 26, nothing changed, but we have the 10,000 in there for the training door.
Hello? Am I supposed to cover this?
It's a public meeting, you're welcome, it's a budget meeting.
There was an email that said I was supposed to come and tell you guys about the last month or something like that.
Oh,
This is the-
yeah, sorry, yeah, so I'm so.
Oh, it's not now.
What?
It's not now.
No,
Okay,
sorry, so just the budget meeting.
gotcha, okay, sounds good.
Listen. So the training door.
So the training door is in there for those reasons, others. Sheet 27 is showing this will be our final statement for our bond anticipation loan.
Is that at the end of the year or is that mid-year?
That will be in May.
That's what I thought. That's nice. Wow, 2 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see that. This is the thing. I mean, it was total than 29 and 30 are total pages. So with that, with the change of adding the $1,000, that puts us at a decrease of 11.33% for the municipal portion.
It's 13 before. That's pretty fabulous, any decrease.
Yeah. Given how expensive,
I saw the municipality, made news during their budget meeting, because it said, they had a reduction in their tax. I thought they had a reduction in their tax rate. I'm like, whoa, somebody else is doing this. No, they were supposed to have a 2.7 cent per hundred increase. They had, went with a 2.2 increase and made news that their increase was less than it was supposed to be. So I feel, yeah, this is something we should be very proud of.
Yeah.
Especially double digit.
Yes.
And still providing for capital improvements,
Still doing some roads.
roads, financial support for first responders.
10,000 for tree removal.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well,
Are there any questions? Jeff, do you have any questions?
No, I'm good. I've got, basically looks like, what we talked about, so.
There's no public on Zoom or in public. There's no further discussion from the committee. Well, that's your motion to adjourn.
Oh, the other, well, sorry.
Sorry.
One thing. I have the letter from Tom Hodgelick, requesting his, money for, the flowers in Tesco.
Should we do that in the regular meeting?
isn't that a resolution in like April or something?
It does, it gets done by a resolution.
Yeah.
But I know he brought in his budget request, so
Okay.
I did want to make that.
It's in here?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I would move approval and support.
Okay,
He also gets some of the stuff donated.
yes, so I just wanted to, in case he does end up. One thing, or something.
A motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Very good, thank you.